It's Super Bowl Sunday. Today I figured I'd head out to the strip and try my new Insta One X2 360. Mounted to my helmet is a DJI Osmo Action camera. And we're going to see how those work out. Using them both really for the first time. Actually, I've used the 360 for some off-road stuff, but this is the first time using it with a selfie stick attached to a motorcycle, and really the very first time using the DJI Osmo Action camera. I originally didn't plan on having narration or sound, but I wanted folks to be able to hear the sound of the engine. It's a 2005 Suzuki SV1000. Suzuki was famous for the 650, the SV650, but for a few years they did make an SV1000. It's a V-twin, kind of thought of as a Ducati killer. I did have to turn the sound down throughout most of the video because the wind noise was just horrific. So I'll put the sound back up once in a while to hear the engine note. This particular SV1000 is an SV1000S. I bought brand new from the factory, had it shipped to my front door, which was kind of cool, in a big crate. It is a naked bike, so it doesn't come with fairing. I added the fairing just to be different, and because I wanted a fairing. So we turned left onto South Las Vegas Boulevard and we're headed north. Off to the left, some of the hotels and casinos you'll see are the Four Seasons, Mandalay Bay, and of course the Luxor. If you look left there at slow-mo, there's your Welcome to Las Vegas sign. To the right is Harley Davidson, and next Harley Davidson is McCarran Airport, which we passed on the right, along with Mavericks helicopter tours. As we proceed past Mandalay Bay, you'll see the Luxor off to the left. And as we go a little further and we reach Tropicana Avenue, that's rather famous large intersection that has, first to the left will be Excalibur, same side of the street, New York, New York, with the big Statue of Liberty. And if you look to the right, you will see the Tropicana Hotel and EMGM Grand. Tropicana Hotel used to be a good place to park if you're going to an event. I don't know if it still is now, but that's still a little bit further north. So right now what we're seeing is the DJI Osmo Action camera. It was $180 off of Amazon, $350 if you buy it on the DJI website. Probably comes with a little more dongles and accessories. Ships all the way from Hong Kong, but it took about 10 days to get here. I think the picture is pretty good. I have it set to 4K, 30 frames per second. But I don't know how to use all the buttons and stuff. I just did a very basic setup. There's probably a way to stabilize the horizon. Boy, I hope I have stabilization on now. I think I do. If not, it looks pretty good. I'm going to have to double check that. The way on the DJI Osmo that you check is, it always says stabilization. It's called rock steady, but if it's in blue, it's on, and if it's in yellow, it's off. So you just got to kind of know. So there we have the Excalibur On the left side, New York, New York across the street, and to the right, you'll see the Tropicana and then the MGM Grand. You can see the giant letters there easily. There's the Statue of Liberty on the left as we pass through Tropicana Avenue. A little bit further, past Park MGM, is the Waldorf Astoria. To the right is your Travel Lodge, Planet Hollywood, Paris. There's a big M&M. Pass through the intersection here. My plan is to make a U-turn at the Mirage. There's the Aria on the left. I'll make a U-turn, take a little sports drink break, check out the cameras. I'll find out that my 360 camera was not working. There's Paris there on the right. Paris has a painted ceiling. So if you go there and spend some time, which I have because sometimes they have good concerts there, you don't realize what time it is. It's kind of an illusion. See, I'm checking my 360 camera there. It was blinking blue, and I didn't know what that meant. It meant something's wrong with the SD card. So there's Paris. There's Paris to the right side there, and it can be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and because of the illusion and the painted sky, the fake sky they have in there, you won't even realize time is passing. And for some reason, you don't get tired. There's still people moving around, people doing things. It is a good place, but it's a little bit tricky. Again, after I make a U-turn, we'll pass the same buildings and the same places. Bellagio's up to the left, followed by Caesars. To the right will be Bally's, the Cromwell, the Link, Harrah's. Right about Harrah's, I think, is where I'm going to turn around and go left, though, before I get to Treasure Island, before I get to right at Harrah's, basically, in the Link. I'll turn left into the Mirage. There's Caesar's Palace on the left. And I can see the Mirage coming into view. There's Harrah's. The Mirage, I'm going to get in the left lane. There was a gentleman blasting some really loud rap music, and I didn't want to sit through that long light, at least on the video. I had to in real life. So I edited out a little bit of my left turn here. Pull right into the Mirage. There's that engine. Now you can hear it. Since the action camera is mounted to my helmet, that bump wasn't horrific. Now, if I had it mounted on my handlebars, it probably would have looked pretty terrible. Alright, let's pull over to the right here. See that? That bump wasn't bad. That was actually two radical bumps right in a row. So get off the motorcycle here. Straight up ahead, got a couple Popo, couple of Nevada's finest. Parked on the right. Take off the backpack, check out the cameras. Every once in a while I'll hit stop and start because giant files are just hard to deal with. See it blinking blue, blue on and off there? That means something's wrong with the SD card. Had to pull out my phone and Google it to figure that out. Now I'm going to get out my DJI Osmo Pocket gimbal, which I do keep in my pocket. Set it on a little tripod just to get a different perspective on what I'm doing. Nothing exciting. Just getting ready to proceed south on Las Vegas Boulevard. And here's what that looks like, the view from the gimbal. Nothing exciting. Just a different perspective. So let's shred through that at high speed. I'll take a little drink of my Kirkland sugar-free mango, take a look around, pull out the iPhone 11 Pro Max, take a couple pictures, maybe a selfie or two, and I'll take a quick video, and here's what that video looks like. This is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Sometimes that quick zoom is good and sometimes it's a little bit abrupt. Nice waterfall. Dude blocking me. Of course. Gotta happen. Uh-oh, here's the issue now with the 360. So format the SD card. Screw it back on to the selfie stick. Get ready to get back on the road. The way these 360 cameras work is the plastic edge gets stitched out, as does the selfie stick. Also, the light will be measured differently, top and bottom. So you want to put it on there in a way so that you don't get stitched out. You don't want the plastic facing your body, and you don't want one side directly into the sun and one side directly facing the dirt, because the light balances will be off. They'll be competing with each other. So I try to put it at a half-cocked angle, if that makes sense. I just don't want, as I'm riding, to be stuck right there where the camera is doing the stitching. Hopefully I did that. And so let's get the gloves back on, get back on the road. There's 360 camera, it's working. And you can edit on your iPhone, which is what I did, the different points. So it's of where the camera is facing. So it's almost like you got a cameraman with you. You can't even see my selfie stick right there, which is interesting. So I'm gonna exit the Mirage, past the Popo. Aloha, gentlemen. Much respect. Props. Always happy to see 5-0. Make a right turn here. Again, I'm in post-editing. I am changing these camera angles. That's why it looks like someone is filming me. I'm actually doing all this editing on my phone before I even dump it to my computer. Sounds complicated. It's not that bad. If you own one, you get used to it pretty quick. Now we're headed south on Las Vegas Boulevard. So Caesars on the right, Bellagio to the left. Link, Flamingo, the Cromwell, Bally's. Now we're on the 360 camera, so I can move it around and track people that are crossing the street in case anybody interesting happens to walk by. And this is Las Vegas, so of course interesting people do walk by. Unfortunately, that sun is blazing. So now there's two girls there. I have it on tracking, auto track. I just draw a little square around them, and the camera will automatically follow them. And I return it back to myself. Wind noise isn't too bad right there. If it kicks up, I'll turn the sound down. Big old stretch limo. Who's in there? Hawaii or Los Angeles, see a big old stretch limo like that. Could be somebody famous. I think in Hawaii, I saw Sting go by once. Michael Jackson once when he was on the island. But in Vegas, it could be just drunk people pitching in their money. They want to drive up and down the strip. The exhaust is Two Brothers Racing. Carbon fiber. You get done from your ride, you pull over, you can just about put your hand on the exhaust and it will not burn you. There's Paris, see the Eiffel Tower there, off to the left. Now we're switching to the helmet camera, the DJI Osmo Action. So the view is just going to be straight ahead. Get more of the feeling like you're piloting this motorcycle. Now we switch back to the 360 camera and we see Waldorf Astoria, followed by the Park MGM. Back to the rider. See the Two Brothers Racing logo in yellow on the exhaust. One of the advantages of the 360 camera is you can see what's going on behind you. That's kind of cool. I think the wind noise here is particularly disturbing. I'll adjust it. We just passed Park Avenue. There's New York, New York. Followed by the Excalibur. After you cross the street, you'll see Excalibur on the right. The castle-looking place just past the Statue of Liberty. And we just switch back to the helmet camera. There's the Excalibur on the right, Tropicana on the left. Excalibur, you can always tell, looks like a castle. After the Excalibur is the Luxor, followed by Mandalay Bay and Four Seasons, all on the right. There's the Luxor. They had to turn down that spotlight they have that shoots into the sky. I think that is the technical word for that, a Klieg pilots flying into McCarran Airport were complaining. It was disturbing them, so they had to tone it way down. Well, we're over the 20-minute mark for this video. And in our rear, we have passed the Luxor, Mandalay Bay, and Four Seasons, which I consider to be the end of the strip. That would have been on my right there. And to the left is McCarran Airport, Mavericks, helicopters. And thus ends the tour.